Hi guys, good evening. Welcome back to our channel. It's now 4:35 p.m. and today is the 26th of November 2022. Thank you so much for being here. If you were here earlier on, thank you so much for everyone. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I had to go and do one or two things, It's Saturday. And when you've got boys, oh Jesus Christ, Lord have mercy. If you don't supervise them, they will not get any work done. So I needed to quickly go and supervise them to get laundry done and to clean their room. As I'm talking to you now, if I didn't do that, I'll finish my live stream and come and meet that the rooms are not done, and they're sitting down to see. If you know how they are, you need to be on their case. You need to be on their back. So apologies for the slight delay, and I wanted to get something to eat as well. Okay, I'm back now. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for your patience. Those of you who have teenage boys, you will know how hard it is to get them to do any work. They are so chillaxed. They just want to sit down, be relaxing. Is it me that will go and be doing your room for you at my age? In this my age, like Ojo. At your don't let me start talking about children today. Because these children, they can do your head in. I will tell it, Neka, I will be telling them, at your age, I used to go and fetch water. I will fetch firewood. I will do everything. What is your job? Your only job, go and do your room. Wash, do laundry. Hoover. That's your job. Hey, I'm so tired. I'm tired. What did you do? Did you cut? I needed to go and holler at them to make sure that they do it. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. So, this is the picture that surfaced on social media. Give us a thumbs up as you are coming in, and please subscribe if you haven't done so. This picture surfaced on social media yesterday. In fact, it was a debate yesterday when I was having a dinner party, and we were contemplating whether it is actually Biodun Fatoyinbo or not. Honestly, because it looks like a skeleton of the man. I was like, could this be him? It's not possible. It doesn't look like him. What is going on? You remember we used to call him Gucci Pastor because of, his dressing. He dresses really nice, and all that. So a lot of people, it raised a lot of conversation, and this person called Afobaje said, I just saw a picture of Pastor Fatoyinbo. I hope he's okay. And then Gift said, what's wrong with Pastor? What's wrong with Biodun Fatoyinbo? So the backstory is that they were in Manchester. I don't know, maybe it's a church program they went there for, but they were shot there somewhere, and in what do they call that place? Old Trafford, which is the Manchester Stadium. Yeah, that's where he was. And I think there is a post there. There is a post there, if I remember to put it here. Let me show you guys. Yeah, it's here. And the post, I think it was on their church page, said, hello, Manchester. We are live at the Old Trafford, making sure that you have a great time at Koza Manchester special Sunday service. It's going to be out of this world. Truly, it will be awesome, but your presence will add so much color. Be there, and we can't wait to see you. That's what the church wrote. So some people did not believe that this was actually Pastor Biodun until they saw him taking pictures with other people. I don't know, maybe this is his wife. And of course, knowing the history that he has, yeah, they are opening a Manchester branch. Abby said that they are in Manchester now this weekend. They are opening a Manchester branch. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people couldn't believe that he was the one because he doesn't look anything like himself. Even the picture, somebody had to draw my attention to it that, do you know he was not standing? He was sitting in the picture. He was sitting down. So, of course, people will have a conversation. People will talk like, what's wrong with him? It's a very drastic difference from, the Fatoyinbo Gucci pastor that we know from what it looks like now. And again, like we were saying earlier when we were having the first show, there's no mention of he was sick. There's no mention of diagnosis. There's no mention of nothing. All we saw, I don't know, maybe some people have some information, but all I saw is this picture. No wonder social media was shockatalized. What is going on? How can a man move from looking very healthy, robust, and looking so skeletal like this? Toby said they opened a Manchester branch last month and Birmingham branch last week. Yeah, they're opening churches up and down. I wish it was businesses they were opening in Nigeria. Nigerians are exporting churches everywhere. I wish we had more. I wish we had something that can create employment to export in Nigeria. Honestly. Yeah. So this is what he looks like. I don't know. There is no talk of there's no talk of any illness. There's no talk of anything. So the speculations have been online and raft as usual. When people don't have information, they will make up stories. Abby says, Auntie B, I think he's sick. He was away for about 4 months this year. I think he's healing now. Well, I believe he's healing because he has this massive smile on his face. Some people said that he looks like someone that is undergoing chemo. What could be the problem with him? How can somebody move from here to here like this? This is a massive change. Like, he's not his usual self. Miss Angie said even preaching is not his usual self. It doesn't seem like to preach like this, the way he looks now. Let me share my link because I think we just need to have a quick roundtable conversation about this because I don't have any information to give, unfortunately. So I'm inviting you, if you know more, maybe we have some of his church members. Has he been preaching? If you've got something, some form of context into this situation and you want to help and give us some information, the link is in the comment section. Join the conversation. Yeah, it definitely doesn't look healthy. There's no way. Some people were saying that maybe he was fasting and prayer. I say, what kind of fasting and prayer is this? This definitely he looks very emaciated. He doesn't look healthy at all. I mean, how do you move from looking as healthy as he does to how he looks now? There's something definitely going on there. Something is not right. I don't know what it is, but something is not right. Paul, do you know more than me? Welcome. Please unmute yourself.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Auntie B, Pastor Fatoyinbo has been sick for a very long time. I watched a video for like 9 months ago.
Are you serious?
Oh yes, and some of the video they capture him then when he started losing weight, he was limping. So since then he has not been preaching nothing. You understand? If you go to his Instagram page, you discover that the last time that you see him preach in church was March this year. So this is the height of, you see, sometimes when these pastors do all these things with faith, the faith also turn back and also affects them. Because I, as a young boy, when I left my mom's church to redeem, I started going to Christ Embassy. What they did with us with faith, it was like crazy. So we abuse privilege with faith, you know. What do I mean by we abuse privilege with faith? You see, sometimes when you see these pastors, we that live in the West, they say they are coming for missionary works in America, UK. They go check their doctors, they treat themselves. The younger ones that don't have those resources will say that they go Rioke, they go mountain, they go from Lagos to Abuja, treat themselves because they preach faith too much. So when they themselves are sick, they hide it. You understand? Because people give these fake testimonies all the time. You understand?
So,
God did this, I prayed, I did this. So the shame of where is your God? Where is your this? Then also the other toxic part of Nigeria, you know, this thing that people keep saying it is nemesis due to the Dakolo's wife scandal. that happened to him. So the shame and every other thing. So they're just trying to hide it. You understand? And
Are
which
you
is
telling me, Paul, that because of somebody is preaching faith, which of course, as a Christian, we all know that without faith it's impossible to please God. Yes, we should have faith, but does it rule out the fact that people can be sick, even pastors, and have illness? So are you saying because of their preaching faith that they will hide illnesses and not let people know because they'll be ashamed?
yeah, Auntie B, yes. It sounds sorry. It sounds weird, but that's the truth. That's the truth. You understand? Because these people, they hide.
Are
Whenever
you
they are sick,
serious?
they pretend, they hide because they preach faith, they've challenged people, people have sown seed. Like I tell people, I tell my wife, like I tell people, I say, look, this is common sense. You know, my faith may be a Cadillac. The next person faith may be a Mercedes. The next person faith may be a downfall driver. You understand? So you can call your pastor, Pastor, I'm sick. I'm going to see my doctor. Please pray for me. Some people will finally be in the hospital. They will call their pastor, Pastor, I'm sick. Please send somebody down to come pray for me. These are the things. But sometimes some of these churches will tell you, where is your faith? People come church and give these testimonies of I bless water, I drink it, I prayed, I challenge my God, and I'm fine. Do you understand? So I don't understand why we hide sickness when we are sick. When since all my life that I've been going to different churches, my father is a Jehovah Witness. My mother, I know my mother as a redeemer till I joined Christ Embassy, till I left to America. I started going to other churches. Auntie B, this is just simple something. I've never seen any of this church where they said a doctor or a nurse should denounce their profession as a nurse, which means it's a good profession. I've seen people come to the altar. I once an Ogboni person. I'm once at this. I once that. I worship this idol. They denounce, but I never see when they tell a doctor to denounce you. In fact, so many doctors are pastors. So many nurses are pastors. Precisely like my redeem. They are pastors. So it's a good profession. So when people sick, if you go to hospital, there is nothing wrong in it. You understand? There is nothing wrong. Why
You
hiding
cannot
it?
believe how surprised I am with what you are saying, Paul. But a lot of people are agreeing with you. As a matter of fact, Ife is saying that yes, anti-pastors from Nigeria come to London for medical attention, but hide it. My
Uh-uh,
cousin works in a private hospital in London, and she has treated two of them, Egbami. Are
uh-uh.
you kidding me?
Oh, yes, this is what they do. And it's so painful. Why is he hiding it? You understand? You've done your part. Great men in this world that come and gone. What is that? What is the age of Christ? What is
Is
the
that
age of
not some
Martin
sort
Luther
of, I
King?
mean,
Great men.
in
It
my
don't
mind,
can't age
Paul,
like Methuselah.
is that not
You
some form of deception? Is somebody is hiding sickness just because they want to, so that people will not challenge your faith?
Auntie B, go to his Instagram and see the last time he preached. You see all the lines of his preaching and every other thing. They've been hiding it, and people have been pushing, and every other thing. They've been hiding it. Why hide it? If you've done a great work, even though if you live in your teenage age, you understand your work will live for you. That's how I understand it. You
My
understand? See,
goodness.
today some of us will talk about Jack Conde. How many years Jack Conde ruled Lagos? Just do your good part, but hiding it does not send a good signal across.
Hey.
You understand? Does not send a good signal across. Since March, that's when he preached last. Go to his Instagram, you see it there. It doesn't preach, it doesn't do anything. He's been sick, they've been hiding it. People have been putting pressure on this case. So when I saw it 2 days ago and everything, I was just laughing. So I was even telling somebody, I said, look at it here. There's this other video. So I sent the video to the person. Said, really? I said, yes.
Ha. Unbelievable. You hide sickness because Ada is saying on the screen now that even later, Lukoya, her sickness was hidden from the church too. Her husband said that they hid it so that the members' faith would not be shaken. I mean, I'm trying to get my head around it, Paul, but I don't understand. How does that make sense? So if a pastor is sick, that the members' faith will be shaken because there's no sickness in the Bible.
When Oyedepo's wife had cancer, she was in UK, every other thing. Did anybody hear in the church? It was a scandal like this. You
Scandal.
understand? It was
Sickness is a scandal.
it was a scandal because if they say it out, then it's not a scandal. It's not a rumor. You understand? Meanwhile, I see pastors on wheelchair in America. They sit down on wheelchair to preach. They tell people, they use their own health to even advise people. I make mistake. I do too much. I never rest. I read too much. I never this. You understand? They even tell you because they're human. You understand? But why hiding it?
They
Oh,
say
you
he
know, but
preached
when the
last
wife
Sunday.
had cancer, it was rumor. It was a scandal. You
Paul,
understand? Till
somebody is
she came
disagreeing
back.
with you. Anna's expression is saying that you are not correct, that he preached last Sunday.
Who?
That Koza, he preached in Koza. That's Biodun.
He should send that. He should send that information and look at his look. No, it's been a long time. Maybe it's old video.
Is it the recorded one or is it a live stream? It's live that you can tell that it was recorded on that day. Oh. Eh? Because if it's not live, you cannot you can't say when it was recorded. Oh
Yeah.
my God. This is the height of, I don't know, in my mind, I'm just thinking that there's something so morally wrong in all this hiding. You are
I
sick, you hide it because you don't want your church, because so as a pastor, it means that your faith must heal you. So if you are not well, it means your faith is not strong enough. Is that how they try to explain it? I don't know. I'm
It's
trying to
not like
understand.
that because even Paul in the Bible had ulcer. You understand? It's not like that, you know. And then other things. So why must we do things like? I think Luke in the Bible, is he not a doctor or something? You know. So these are good professions, you know, and you can use your life to also educate people. You understand, in positive or in negative. You understand? What do we tell our kids? We've made this mistake. We don't want you to make it.
Hmm.
You understand? That's how it is. So doing things like that, it's not good. You go to his Instagram and check his Instagram. And
Eh?
you see these things very well.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Abby,
Thank you.
thank you so much, Paul. I
Yeah,
appreciate
you're welcome.
your calling us and telling us your own 2 cents about this. Abby, you are disagreeing with Paul. What angle are you coming from? Tell us.
Auntie B to the Queen B. Good afternoon. Good morning, ma. How you doing?
I'm good, darling. Welcome.
Good. Thank you. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good evening, Obodo fam. Auntie B, I just wanted to point some things the previous caller, Mr. Paul, had said. He does have some point. Yes, it's indeed true that some pastors they do hide their sicknesses and all that. But in regards to Pastor Fatoyinbo, there are some things that he kind of said that was not really accurate, and I just wanted to maybe again, I'm not a church spokeswoman or whatever, but indeed he was preaching his last sermon before this illness. Again, I'm not sure what kind of sickness, but from his body and when he came back to the church. So his last preaching was on April 17, and that was when Reverend Upai came to preach at his church. After then, he was a bit absent for several months.
Mm-hmm.
And then by I think sometime in August he came back. And when he came back, you could tell if you're somebody that like you watch his services and you know him, you could tell that, oh, when somebody is kind of recovered, that have gone through a sickness, you could tell, right? So yeah, so he was away for a couple of, but not 9 months that the previous caller had said. So I wanted to just correct that. If you go, like he was saying, go to his Instagram page, you would see that his personal Instagram page, the last post was when Reverend Upai was there. So he did preach until April the 17th. However, is it true that he was away for a while? Absolutely, that's true. However, in terms of, I think he did mention that, oh, they've been hiding. I would not really agree with that because he's been preaching some live services. I think the last service was maybe 2 weeks ago. This last service, maybe because they were preparing to come to Manchester. Again, I'm not a church spokesperson. I don't go to the church. I'm not in Nigeria, But again, sometimes it's good to put truth to context. And I believe in speaking the truth sometimes, And that being said, is he hiding it and whatever? Again, that's him and his church, and but sometimes again, when we are going through stuff, and again, being a public figure, it's not everything you have to put out there. Is it? At least I do listen to some of his preaching. I don't think he's those pastors that will say you should deny medical attention and not preach. And I think even when he came back from this brief illness, like this time he was away, there was a time that he was preaching, and even in the preaching, there was a time he made a reference to something. If you're someone that can read in between, like you will know that he was trying to explain something, that he went through some stuff, and this is how God brought him out and stuff like that.
Don't you believe that as a man of God and as a preacher who pastors a large congregation like Koza,
Mm.
if he's dealing with health challenges, should he not come and say that? Even if he's not saying it openly to the world, should he
Mm.
not tell his congregation that this is what he's dealing with?
I don't really think so, Auntie B. So
Why not?
because
Why?
see, it's not everything you put out in, not all your business you put out there. Again, maybe some of it's sure like the elders and stuff they will know, but again, there are so especially when you're dealing with in this time and age. So, for example, I work in the corporate world. If my boss or somebody is sick, is it everything that you put out there? Not
That's
necessarily.
different. That's corporate world. We are talking about faith. Faith world. You can't compare. I mean, they are
Yeah,
miles apart, Abby.
yeah, again, we can agree to disagree, but in this aspect, I think I would disagree on that. Again, I'm not saying that.
Isn't it
um
deception to be ill and you hide it from your church member
I
because
wouldn't
you are
say,
thinking,
I wouldn't,
no, hold
because
on
we are
now.
not okay.
Let me
Okay.
finish. Let me finish, please. Right? I can say, I know you've already taken a stand, which is okay. I
Mm.
respect that. But let me say the other side. And this is what Paul was saying, because we are talking about faith here. And don't forget that we're talking about Nigeria, where people literally, everything that has to do with their life rests on what men of God are telling them. They are men of God. All right.
Mm.
So if you have a sickness that is serious like this, that will make a man to, I mean, I don't even know the English word now to use to describe how a healthy looking man can become like a skeleton like this, walking around in bones, disappeared from the pulpit for months. So are you saying that it is not a duty of care towards his congregation to tell them that he's ill? He doesn't owe them that.
To me, again, I'm in no place to to say that. Again, I can see people saying on the comment section, I don't belong to the church. One, I'm not in Nigeria, so me going to Kosa, it's not even that, I believe in speaking the truth, and when you're coming out and saying and giving information, um if you have the right information, yeah, give it out, especially in public forum like that. What I really called to really talk about was one, what they call it, oh, he's been away for 9 months, is videos that they put. That's what I really came to really discuss. Whether he announces it to the church, it's none of my business. But what I really wanted to say was, hey, he was in church this year. His last preaching was when the Reverend Upai came to preach in his church. After a while, he was away. He was back sometime in August, and since then he's been preaching. And he also does like daily morning worship, and he
I heard
does
all that. I heard
you,
all
you know.
that.
So that's
I
that's
wish,
what I
yeah,
really
I know you don't want to
uh,
make a comment about that question,
yeah,
because
that
you need
again.
a pastor or a man of God. When you have when you have a church or you have people who follow you, you are kind of like a shepherd that have
Absolutely.
sheeps or flocks, whatever you want to call it, that they depend on you, not only for to hear the word of God, your pastoral care, and their faith building and all that, emotional support, whatever. But that, I wish somebody can answer. Maybe not you, Abby, because I can see you don't want to address that, and that's fine. But if somebody can please answer me this, anybody that is in the studio, I can see you, Nicholas. I'm going to add you in a minute. What I'm saying is that as a man who has this kind of power, you are leading a congregation. Don't you think that it is your duty of care towards your congregation to let them know if you are going through something like this?
And who is to say that maybe they announced it in the church and then it wasn't done as public announcement? Who is to say? Again, I don't go to the church. I don't attend their dailies. I was not there. But who is to say? Maybe if somebody goes there physically or they attend the church or they are, that is on the call or knows, they can speak to that. But sometimes, my point is sometimes we tend to, judge this, judge that. That's part of, some. Again, I mean, nope, I'm not the spokesperson for COSA. Let the
Okay, let
chips
somebody.
fall where they may, and let everybody believe what they believe. That's all I would say. Thank you
All
so
right.
much, Auntie B. Have a good day.
All right, Abby. Thank you for calling. I've noticed that you have a particular alliance, or I've noticed that in previous calls when you call in as well, Abby. I've noticed that you struggle when it comes to anything that has to do with pastors. You have a particular allegiance, and you are a faithful believer, and that's all right. That you don't want to, you don't ordinarily, the things that you look at, you know holistically, you tend to take, another angle, which is all right. You are a believer, you don't want to judge, but we're not judging. I'm asking a very simple question. Nobody's judging anybody. Okay? All I'm saying is that it goes back to what we were saying in the morning about hiding illnesses. People are sick, they will hide it, hide it, hide it, hide it, hide it, hide it, hide it. That's what I'm saying. You are hiding it because so that they will not challenge your faith. But to me, I don't know. Anyway, Nicholas, you are working on the street. I hope we can hear you.
Yeah, you can hear me. Yeah, how are you, man?
Good evening. Where are you?
I, I'm in Kingdom of Bahrain. I'm the same guy with, as a triple D, triple
Okay,
dad.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Welcome. Now the
Long
person
time,
honking
man.
in your background will allow you to talk to us. There's so much noise there.
Okay, is there any way I can just, because I'm in the
Yes, go
middle of the
ahead.
road. This one. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you very much, man. Good evening. Good evening, man.
Welcome. Yeah.
You are doing a good job, man. So, first of all, my sister B, yeah, you are doing a big job. I'm telling you because this is your job, eh? I'm telling you because the last person before this sister Abby called, narrated the whole story. None of
Paul.
the caller, yeah, none of the caller was. I mean, is a member of the COSA. All right, they are just everybody was I mean they are saying what's it called, they are saying the eyewitness what they can hear, I mean from hearsay, whatever they hear from the street or from the platform, but the question is Pastor Abiodun, is he sick? Yes. Has he been away for some time? Yes. Which the brother that called before this sister Abby called. So why are we trying to play around with words, trying to, uh, I mean, how do I put it? Sugarcoat or colorize the situation as if it did not happen at all. Because we are still saying the same thing. I don't know. And the sister said, okay, she's not the member of the church, and she's not the how do I put it, PRO of the church,
She's
so
not
to
speaking
say.
for the church. She
So
said she's not speaking for the
she's not
church.
she's not speaking for this church. So what you are saying is not different from what the brother is saying. And the fundamental question you brought was, why is the pastor, why are they hiding illness from the church? And she's not ready to answer. I think I don't know. I don't know.
Do you
I
know
don't know
why?
because
Do you have an answer to that,
yes, ma'am.
Nicholas? Do you know why
Well,
pastors and leaders of churches hide their illnesses from from people?
just like that brother said, the brother that called earlier, before that sister Abby, they don't just want to be challenged. That's number one, because the answer is not far fetched. Everybody knows, they don't want like people to know that okay, you too, you take drugs, and there's nothing wrong taking drugs and trying to heal yourself one way or the other. So far, you are not stepping on people's toes. You are not taking lives to heal yourself. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, doing rituals. If it's orthodox, medical, science, I think it's fair. There's nothing wrong there. I mean, I don't say anything wrong. Going to a surgeon, for instance, if you have any illness, we are not trying to mock him. We are all mortal. Anybody can fall sick at any point in time. We are just living by the grace of God,
No,
But
I'm looking
the
at
truth
it
of
from the angle of sickness versus people, challenging whether your faith is not strong enough. That's why. Because I'm looking at it because as Christian, like Paul said, it's all about
yes,
faith. For us to receive anything from God, we need to have faith. We need to
yes,
believe, right? So
yes,
what I'm looking at it, that does it mean that if somebody is sick, their faith is not
mm,
strong enough? If they have, let's say somebody said now that he had a stroke, does it mean that
okay,
it's his faith that was not strong enough that's why he was sick? Or I mean, look at it from that, and looking at it at how the ordinary Christian will look at it. If I'm sick now, I'm not telling everybody. If the pastor can hide sickness, then me too,
yes,
I will be ashamed to say it, because I'm saying, they will say my faith is not strong enough. So I will be dealing with it in secret,
yes,
and dealing with it in secret as well might even impact on the outcome that they will get, because
yes,
now
yes,
they might
yes,
not even want to go to hospital, because they'll be fasting and
yes,
praying what they should go and get
yes,
treated for. I don't
yes,
know if you
yes.
understand what I'm trying to say.
I got your point, man. I got your point. But that people will question them like, okay, maybe there is something wrong. Maybe people will question the integrity of their faith, so to say.
Yes,
Let's put it
yes,
that way. Yeah, yes. So
yes.
I got your point. I got your point, man. You know, if you remember, I'm not a Bible scholar, but I know one or two things in the Bible. You remember Job? What sin did Job commit? You know, he did not commit any, and he saw all sort of tribulation. Sickness will come. We are just praying for God protection and God to guide us and whatever, whatever. You know, I remember. Let me cite a story. I went to a school. All right. At some time, I think, yeah, that school is FC Akoka. You know, I went there around 2000 thereabout. In the campus, this man who was called Pastor Sule. You know, all these new converts. He was one Muslim and he converted to Christian. No disrespect to Muslim brother or Muslim folks. Okay, he joined Deeper Life and he was so fervent, so strong. You know, so strong. So this brother was living in the campus and he fell sick of malaria, ordinary malaria. And because of the fact that he had the faith, he doesn't treat himself. Ordinary paracetamol, Pastor Sule do not take. And he died because of malaria. He died because of malaria. So that's just one of the instances that we can, different angles
What's
that
the
people
lesson
can.
from that? What lesson do you think we can learn from that experience of
The-
that brother?
my sister B, if you are sick, you go to the doctor. Yeah, while
Mhm.
you are working on your faith, the Bible says, walk and pray. You
So
get what I mean, man?
so yeah, we're getting back to the same point now, Nicholas. If the
Yes, man.
pastors
Yes,
cannot
man.
boldly say, "I am sick," while I'm
Yes.
trusting God, I am going to the
Yes.
doctor, then what will
Yes, man.
encourage the church member to do the same? Because they will just believe everything is faith, faith, faith. Some people in
Ah,
Nigeria, you don't believe it. Like you and I, we live in a diaspora, right? So we have more
yes, man.
knowledge, we have more
Yes,
access to
man.
healthcare and all whatnot. But you
Yes, man.
cannot
Yes,
believe
man.
that there are some Nigerians who are Christians and they don't believe that they need to go to the hospital for anything. They will faith it.
But from the perspective of what we are saying, man, I will say something because the Koza, from the way I look at it, is a Pentecostal church. Am I being far from the truth? Yes, I believe majority that are there, they are educated. They are not illiterate. They are not people from village, and they know their right from left. I strongly believe that none of them will say that I don't want to go to hospital or will question the pastor in person. Like, okay, why did you go to church? What happened to your faith? It's not the type of church like a CAC of those days and the Apostolic Church of those days that don't use. That's another angle we want to. I would like us to look at it because there may
Mm.
be some personal interest. I don't know that he may not want to review what is going on or transpiring in his health or something. I don't know. I don't just know what the reason must have been. You know, but I don't see Koza because it's a church that's full of youth congregations. You know. So and they preach in English. You know the standard. And it's not like the CAC and whatever, whatever. Uh, so I don't think that the congregation may question the pastor because it's not deeper life. May question the pastor, we see you as a pastor and we don't believe you have to go to hospital for treatment. We see you like semi-god or angel or something like that. But the moral lesson we are learning from here is that irrespective of wherever you are or what position you are holding, you got a duty of care. You own a duty of care to take good care of yourself. Let's take
Lobaton,
good care of ourselves. No baton.
that's it.
You get it, man.
That's it. Oshegani. Thank you very much, Nicholas. I appreciate you. Thanks for calling in. Yeah. There's a point I'm trying to get here, but I'm not sure that I'm going to be understood. So I'm going to leave it. Let me leave it for now. Maybe somebody will call in that will understand where I'm coming from, what I'm trying to do. Because the reason why I'm saying that is that, I mean, people are already saying that it's karma on social media. They are already going to Bisola's post now to be making comment and saying all sorts of things. And with Nigerian Christianity that I know very well in Nigeria, is the average Nigeria is their pastor is do what I do. They do whatever they see their pastor do. I don't know if you guys understand. I'm not saying that medical information is not confidential, that people should start sharing their whatever diagnosis up and down. But these are not just ordinary people. And with the average person in the church in Nigeria, they would do. Have you guys noticed that Christ Embassy, all the pastors cut the hairstyle that Pastor Chris has? Have you noticed? All of them do Jericho. Why are they all doing Jericho? Men, they are men, no. I'm not criticizing them, no. The point I'm trying to make is that they always copy their daddy Gio and mommy Gio. So it's a lifestyle. It's something that people emulate. So these people are powerful people. They have, people, thousands of people who are looking up to them. So if they are sick and hiding it, and they cannot boldly share it with their congregation, to say, okay, then if the congregation too are sick, they too will hide it. And perhaps if the congregation know that, okay, my pastor is sick, they are getting treatment, then they too will be encouraged to get medical treatment instead of faithing it, that, like the example that Nicholas gave. Oh, faith, faith, new. I cannot take paracetamol. By faith, I'm healed. By faith, I'm healed. Because unfortunately, some people cannot distinguish between faith and foolishness. Honestly, because it's God that created doctors. God created Dr. Chi Andrews. I'm so happy to see you, my sister. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. She said, the pastors preach faith without medicine, coupled with brainwashing. If pastors tell members they visit hospital, they will lose members. Why? Maybe you can help me, Okpeyemi. Why? Why would they lose members for visiting hospital? Are they not human beings before they became pastor?
Hello, Auntie B.
My
thank
sister.
Thank you for giving us this platform this afternoon.
Eshe, welcome.
See, and this issue is beyond Nigerian issue alone. And it's not only pastors that do this thing. Have you noticed that people in high places that people would like to look up to, like maybe a professor, a teacher, a doctor, something like that, they always see themselves as they are infallible, like they are like mini God. I want people to see me out there like I'm perfect, and that's why I'm on them. I'm above them. That's why I'm their shepherd, to keep them as sheep, to direct them. So even me now as pastor, if I'm coming out to say this is what is going on, majority of the members, the level of their faith are different.
Right.
And the same way, and they won't take the news the same way. It might take some people out of faith. It might weaken some people's faith, that they will just be like, okay, let me just be going to church for going sake, but my belief is already dropped. Because they are believed. Because their belief is attached to their pastor. Because we can't see Jesus Christ physically, but they are putting these pastors, that this is like the Jesus that we can see. So if our pastors now is now getting sick, is going through this, who am I to not witness, to not pass through more than this? And at the same time,
is that not idolatry? If you are seeing your pastor as the Jesus that you can see, is that not idolatry?
Like, whether we want to say it's idolatry or not, this is what people do. And that's why you see some people, then when they say maybe they are, maybe when their pastors commit adultery or they fall into this, you see mass of, like, majority of people walking out of the church. Like, if my pastor can do this, what else can we expect from unbelievers? What else because
there's something fundamentally wrong with the teaching in the church.
Exactly. So, and this issue is not only for obodooyinbo, it's not only for Nigerian pastors alone. And I'm not sorry to say it. It cuts across everywhere. Something happened before the COVID came in my church. After the service, everything was okay. You see my pastor, although he's aged, like he should be in his late 60s or something like that, but he doesn't look like that because he has a small stature, and he carries himself. He always looks healthy. So these are the people that when you see them, you want to feel like, by the time but I want my stature, I want me to be, to be agile, to be up and doing at this age that this person are. One day we close after the church service. We normally members, we don't even know. Choirs, like people, we already left. It was Sunday after the Sunday service, on a platform, a prayer was just raised. Nobody's name was mentioned. Just pray for divine healing. Just pray for this. And we were like, I feel badura, and like, okay, we don't know who this is, but this is urgent situation. A while we didn't see our pastor in church, things like that. But later when he came back, we just thought, okay, maybe Baba needs a vacation. Like, we know everybody needs that time to cool off. It was when he kind of came back and started giving the testimony. That was when we know what happened. That after the church service, after they finished the sermon and we shared the grace, he slumped right on the pulpit.
So you cannot share it when something happened, but you can give testimony.
And it was only when, like, the elders, the everything. So that was why it's not, there are some informations that the way churches are going, there are some information because they don't want to make people to get out of faith, or because they know that a lot of souls are attached to their souls in the church. That's why I always tell people around me, don't fi olola toro. If it's my husband that you see that is good, don't say I want husband like Sister Kwemi, because you don't know whatever Sister Kwemi is dealing with underneath that she can't share with you, but you are tapping that anointing that I want husband like Sister Kwemi's husband. So at the same time, don't attach your faith to your pastor's faith, because you don't know. Just know God for yourself and know where your stand is in Christ. And that's why when things like this happen, and then I want to take us back to the scripture. When was it King Saul, when the Spirit of God left him and another spirit, entered him? Some people in the community, they already knew that something about him was strange, something about him has changed. But for the whole country, they didn't know. For the whole, Ilu now, they didn't know. But few of them that has the Spirit of God, they know that something was wrong. They were praying, they were trying to, like, okay, let's make sure that we remove him as the king, because he can no longer do this, can no longer do that. But some pastors, they won't want their congregation to see them as that. Like, maybe I can no longer pray for God to answer my prayer. Why should I now stay under this person's anointing when he can no longer defend himself, when he can no longer help himself? So they will want to, as much as possible, to, like, silent everything, so that the minimum thing that they can share within the elders, within the, like, people that can understand, those are the things that we want to get it out. At the same time,
you don't even know how heartbreaking this thing you are describing, how it makes me feel.
Yes,
it is so pathetic.
And at the same time,
people can say you go to church to go and worship God, but actually it's man you are worshiping.
Yes,
you are worshiping God.
Because whatever we say indirectly, we will say, if you cannot love people, you say you love God, but you cannot even love your neighbors, to the point that when you hear something dangerous coming towards them, you can't even, tap them like, hey, move after that place. So if you cannot love human being that you are seeing physically, how else can you show to me that you love God that you can't see? So if we cannot see God, but we know there's God, and he's using our pastors, he's using people, okay, these are the people, these are the mini gods that we see. But people will not say that they have turned the pastors to God, because that's the people that we have they are seen as infallible, as high in anointing, high in grace, high in everything. So if my pastor is passing through this, if my pastor cannot find solution to his problem, who am I?
That's one way. All right, last people that
so
think
who am I?
All right,
yeah,
let me read these comments from Timmy Jiwa, because it makes a whole lot of sense. Thank you, everybody, for this conversation. It's much needed. Please give us a thumbs up if you are, if you are enjoying the gist. Temi said, I appreciate the need to be private, but it's obvious he's unwell. If he's in recovery, fabulous news. Acknowledging our humanity and God's divinity is desperately needed. Acknowledging our humanity, because you are not God. Even if you think, even Archbishop Bessin Daosa, that is the only Archbishop we've ever had in Nigeria, as far as I know, in the Pentecostal setup, that, had all the regalia and everything, it was still a human being. So, I mean, the part of the comment that Timmy is saying now, acknowledging, and the fact that you can be sick is part of your humanity. The part that you can be unwell is part of humanity. So if you are now hiding that humanity from your congregation, it means like you are equally telling your congregation, no, I'm not human. Maybe I'm like God now, so how can I be sick? God is the only one that has divinity. We are all humans. I don't know if you understand the point that Timmy is making in that statement. It
Yes,
makes a
sir.
whole lot of sense to me. There needs to be a demarcation between humanity and
Mm.
divinity. God
And
is the only one that is God. As
mm.
long as tabawa leran ara yi, that we
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni
are
o.
flesh and
We
blood
are
flowing in our
limited
body.
in all things. Like there's limitation to what we can, do at certain time. And Sabi, I want to draw two more points again so that other people can talk to. And again, this is not even the issue of being sick alone. Pastors, you will see some members, stepping on your toes, stepping on your wife, or doing something nasty that, as a normal human being, you are supposed to get mad. As normal human being, you are supposed to say, enough of this rubbish. But because I'm a pastor, I will always want to find a way so that people will not say, so my pastor have anger issue. So my pastor cannot take something. So pastor cannot fight for themselves in the way so that people will not see me as around the pastor. Pastor is being used by flesh. So they want to harbor and hide everything under their shell while they are passing through so much. Because people are seeing them as perfect, as mini God that we can see. And
They are not
also,
seeing them as human. That's what
so
Timmy was saying. They don't see them as human.
again, people like God forgive all of us. So because I always things like this, I'm always like, call on mafia or a lot of buy on if you understand what I mean. People that always have this kind of scandal everywhere now and then, or even if you don't have scandal, but you know that you are always stepping on people's toes, right from your beginners, from your background, right from where you are coming from. When things like this are happening, the fear of, even if my congregation will not say, kilo shele se pastor wa, for the fact that people will say, Ọlọ́run mú, you think he can do without us. You think he can go scot-free with everything you are doing.
That
You
makes
have to
sense to
come,
me.
you have to come back and beg. You have to
You know
come back
what?
and
The part of this one you said now, it makes sense to me. I mean,
that kind of
thinking
thing.
about it more than all the part we'll be talking about, because for
So
him, especially, we are talking about Fatoyinbo Abi. For
yes.
him,
So
especially with all the scandals he's had in the church, it makes sense that
So the fear of Koloma Jeki if I were that John Jotami, I would rather pie in this kind of situation than open my yash out there for people to now say, this is our time to now pluck our teeth on him. Like, we said so. We said you have to come back to us. You have to, eat your vomit. So that's why you see pastors, people hide a lot of things that they should have opened up in the first place and just get their, breakthrough or whatever. But they would rather prefer to pie in silence.
Wow. Thank you so much. I appreciate your contribution. Okpayemi, you've spoken very well, and you made a whole lot of sense to me, especially when you were talking about, when people are shrouded in controversies, then they already know they are going to be judged very harshly, very critically. But at the end of the day, we are all human. Okay? We are all human. And as you are human, you are susceptible, and you are at risk. Anybody can be sick. But Rossetti is saying something here. We have another Abby in the studio. Before I come to you, Tina, Rossetti said, what they say is that Christians must not be sick. Is a sign of weakness of faith. And so we must renew through our giving. That's another angle again, no? But Christians must not be sick. Who will be sick then? Muslims? Atheists? Who will be sick? Christians are made by another God different from God that makes the other people happy. Now, wow. The kind of teaching that people are consuming these days, I don't know. It's quite worrying. It's very, very worrying. How can you say that Christians must not be sick? Are Christians not human beings? It's like saying that Christians cannot buy. They will live on earth forever. I don't understand. Abby, where are you joining us from?
Hello, Auntie V.
Welcome.
I'm calling from Canada.
Oh, the other Abby was calling from Canada as well. Wow. Incidentally, welcome.
Thank you, Ma. Okay, this is actually my first time of speaking into your show, but I've been listening and following up and all that. So today I didn't go to work, so I was like, let me just call into the show. Okay, regarding Pastor Biodun's case, I don't know, we Nigerians, I don't know how we see God, first of all, whether we think that God is ashamed of us when we want, or people will be ashamed that we are going to hospital. If you read the book of Luke, you will notice that Luke himself is a doctor. People don't know. If you read your Bible very well, the book of Luke is a physician and he's an apostle of Christ. Now, different pastors, they end up creating a doctrine for their church. Let me give you an example. I don't want to mention the name of the church, but you will know the church I'm referring to. There's a church when we are growing up, they said you don't need to watch television. If you have
Yes.
television, then you are of the world. But
Yes.
looking back now and looking at what the global pastor is saying now, oh, that he made a mistake
Yes.
previously, you know.
Yes.
So you see that some churches, they create this doctrine around their churches and
Mhm.
force their members on what to believe, apart from being a Christian. Okay, this is how we should dress, this is how we should behave. And those members are tied to this doctrine. Let me give you another example. If a God that is always preaching about good marriage, how to do well, how I treat my wife and all that. When if this pastor in future start having issues with their wife, they will do anything and everything to protect any controversy around their marriage, because they don't want their members to think, oh, they couldn't handle their own marriage, being a pastor that preaches so and so doctrine.
Mhm.
If we can look beyond what we preach as pastors or as members, what we surround ourselves, and be vulnerable. An average Nigerian man, let me use man, is a proud person, starting from
Mhm.
our president. They are all proud people. They cannot own up to maybe their mistakes, or their, like the other day they were telling us about, oh, how your husband hasn't taken you out in a while, and when I saw it, I was like, Auntie B, I respect you today. I had a comment on your post. I said, I respect you today for you to even show us a follow up on what some people will not come and say, after all, you've been advocating for women,
Mm.
that.
So it means that me, I have a perfect marriage, Abby.
So we need to be vulnerable to ourselves. I remember years back about
Except we are like
Mm,
anybody that paints a picture about having the perfect you know what they call lies is a
yeah.
pack of lie, is like a pack
Mhm.
of cards that will collapse. Is
One
it is lies.
exactly.
We all have challenges. We are human. Everybody goes through things.
Exactly. Like I remember 2 years ago, I was having thyroid issue. I never knew what it was. The last time I heard about thyroid was when I was in secondary school. I don't even know what it was. I don't know what the contribution to human body and all that. But when I was having it, and it was in the middle of COVID, I started crying out loud. I said, ask people, please, when you are experiencing so and so, what do you do? I said, telling people, I had to open up. And I kept telling myself, I can't die like this. I can't, because mine wasn't the outer one. Mine was the intra. It was growing inside, So it wasn't even showing on my neck, but I was having symptoms like, oh, I'm not feeling my body, So when people are not feeling well, you can open up to even if it is not the entire congregation, and you don't even know who you are speaking to. At the end of the day, you don't even know that maybe you are going to touch one or two members that are going through stuff. I was recently watching one of the pastors, Pastor Joshua Selman. I don't know if you know him.
Yes, I
Yes,
do.
if you go and watch the latest video on his YouTube, he talked about I shall not die. He said that he can't be praying for you when you are living a bad diet, when you are not exercising, when you are not resting. You do 3 shifts, you will not go and rest. You will not take one day and say, let me even rest. All those things at the end of the day will tell on your body. But for Pastor Biodun, I know he has had so many controversies in the past. Maybe that's why he wasn't too open about what he's going through, knowing the kind of Nigerians that we are.
Nigerians.
Yes.
Nigerians don't play.
So he didn't want
They
to.
will they judge harsher than God is more merciful than Nigerians.
Telling you, we are so
Hmm.
messless. Like we don't show any mercy. You know,
Hmm.
even when I was going through that thyroid issue, I had the first surgery, I had the second one. Even people that I'm working with in the office say, "Hey, God don't catch him. Hey, you see, God don't punish him." I was laughing, but gladly and thankfully I recovered and I
What
came.
do you do then when God they catch you for? What do you do when God they
You
catch you? Person know they sick.
You know, it can't please
Now you be the
everybody.
first person where get thyroid.
Do you
Why
understand?
what do God they catch you for?
You can't please everybody, and everybody must not like you.
Na
Whenever
jealousy. Last, my dear, na jealousy.
if anybody likes you, then you are in trouble. You know, there's something that you're not doing right. People must hate you for some reasons. You know?
Yeah.
So for him, I think maybe one of these days he should address it, because if you go to Koza page, the picture is still there, although he has removed the comment section. He should be able to address people. I think I'm praying that he's recovering, because I heard some months back that he has gone on treatment. So I believe that he's recovering from him to even show himself right now. And I wish, regardless of whatever controversy that he had in the past, it's only God that can judge us.
It's God that is the judge. Kilo
Yeah,
kanwa. Everybody gets in when they deal with so
exactly.
yeah,
And
nobody's in a
when
position.
they
I mean,
judge people, if they should put in a camera of what we do or what we say or what we think in our hearts, hey, this world will not contain anybody. So let's leave him and pray for him. That's all we
do
can
you
do.
think that
Let God.
pastors, yeah, true. I mean, this idea of if you're a good Christian, then you shouldn't be sick and hiding illnesses, especially from men of God like him. What do you think about it? Let's forget about the controversy, but let's say just as a Christian, because it's not only him. You saw some other people give example about, how Dukoya, they was sick and other people. There are so many.
Yeah.
Even the one of the Living Faith one, they said that people didn't know that, they saw her in hospital, the wife of the Living Faith bishop and all that. So it's a thing in Christendom. So talking generally now, not only about Fatoyinbo, what do you think is a healthy practice for illness? Because don't forget that a pastor can be sick, congregation too can be sick.
Of course.
We are all human. So this hiding sickness, and so that the congregation will not know, so that their faith will be strong in you, because you are the God that you are the God that gave that is there. You are the one that is the God now. You replaced God.
God.
So if they are looking at, you are the God on earth that they are looking at. How unhealthy is that?
Yes, the thing there is that I will use most, because it's a high percentage of Nigerian pastors try to idolize themselves. They want the congregation to look at them instead of looking at Jesus. They are not standing in front of the cross. They are not even standing behind the cross, because they are the one blocking Jesus now. So they try to let their members look up to them. They are not being, like what I said earlier, they are not vulnerable.
Yes.
The church in Lagos, the man will tell you, sometimes you go and meet him, he will tell you, he will ask you, have you rested this week? Go and see doctor. Let me know what the doctor said. He will even let you know. He will pray for you, but he will tell you, I think you need to still go and meet a doctor. Let me know what the scan says. Let me know what the test says. That way you're encouraging people, and they should speak more.
If you cannot be vulnerable, that means you are not human. You are not a human being.
So they should speak more on the pulpit. If you are sick, go to the doctor. There's a big platform. I don't want to mention the name, but we all know what God cannot do does not exist. Yes. You see people, when they are giving testimonies, some people, they give you evidence that this is what the doctor said. So they're not writing off doctors. We are not writing off doctors, but we also putting that, doctors have their place in our lives, and pastor or God have their place in our lives. So you can't just jeopardize your health because, I want my faith to carry it. And then at the end of the day, somebody dies. You now say, God is God's will. Maybe it's just a little thing. Just go to hospital and get checked. So I think pastors should make emphasis on that during church service or during their preaching, that people should do general checkup, yearly checkup. For women, you should know the kind of tests you should do yearly at a certain age and all that. Have like unit. There's this thing they do in churches that maybe this month is for health month, this month is for marriage month, something like that. Emphasize on health. Why
Hmm.
people should live healthy. Bring doctors to have a talk show in church. Every time it's not about reading Bible. Have a talk show in church where you tell people concerning so part of our body, or at a certain age you should be checking out for this, your BP, your diet, what you can eat as a diabetic person, as a hypertensive person. Let us know beyond Bible, because that's what church should be there for. So I think pastors should try more. Excuse me. They should try more and re-emphasize on our health issues, because look at now, from in fact, like for like 4 months now, what I've been hearing: kidney issue, high BP,
How can they re-emphasize? Abby, how can they
different.
re-emphasize? How can they emphasize or even re-emphasize anything when they are hiding their own? How? That is why we're
That's
even having this conversation in the first place.
that.
For
So
you to
it's
be
still
able to say something, you need to
yeah,
talk about, if you, especially if you are experiencing it, share
yeah.
with people. This is what I'm going through,
But you can't
so
if
that
you are not.
they too, when they are going, they can identify. People can identify with that vulnerability, that you are a human
Yeah,
being, no, you are a pastor, but you can go through the. So when they are going through it, they will even have the grace to know that,
yes,
so this is what my pastor is going through. Me too, I'm going through it. The God that I'm serving will answer my prayer. And the pastor said they went to the doctor. Me too, I'll go to doctor and I will add faith to it.
exactly. So that vulnerability, they need it. They need to be more open and more outspoken about our health. And then Jesus is the overall healer. He will heal, yes. And some things that your faith cannot carry. So why don't you go to hospital? Why are you lying? You are covering up for members so that they will not disappear. At the end of the day, they still know about it. So what have you achieved? You have made yourself a liar,
Hmm.
or a pretender. So I think pastors
Well,
should speak more on our health more than
thank you.
talk about Bible and all that. We should balance the two. Thank you,
Thank
Auntie.
you. Thank
Uh,
you so much, Abby. Please call us again. I really, really enjoyed having this conversation with you. You are amazing, beautiful woman, so articulate. God bless you. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to round up very soon now because this is our second show today. All right, Ade, you are next. Is this Uncle Ade? I don't know who,
No,
or is
not
it?
Uncle Mal.
This is
This is
another Ade. Okay, welcome.
Thank you, Auntie B, for having me.
Thank you. Can you speak more into this? The speaker. Your
Oh, okay. Let me see
is
if I
very.
can you
Your
hear me
voice is
better?
so faint.
Oh, is it really? Can you hear me better?
Yeah, that's better. Are you using Bluetooth?
I am. That's
Okay,
why.
so your voice, I can barely hear you.
Okay. Can you hear better now, though?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead then. Let's see.
Okay. Thank you so much. Your shows are always informative. I just
Thank
wanted
you.
to contribute. He really does look emaciated, and I think he is sick, but I think it all goes back to Nigerian culture, you know?
Right.
There's this culture of hiding things,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And then, at the end, maybe he'll tell a story and the miracle or whatnot, you know what I mean? And then maybe it's like he's feeling that he's letting down his sheep, if he comes clean or he's vulnerable. But I think, as long as that culture is there, people are going to continue to hide these things, and just creating a forum where people can just be open about what they're going through is what is necessary, because the church isn't that what the church is supposed to be, right? I mean, we're all models, and so him being able to come out as a pastor and to say that he's going through this, and I think that might encourage more people to know that,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is normal, and they can even support him in whatever way they can. But as long as that culture remains, I'm telling you, this is not going to they're unfortunately not gonna change. I hope that someday we can embrace that we're all humans, and nobody's gonna live forever, and anything can happen to anyone. So that's
Mm.
just what I wanted to contribute. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ade. I appreciate you. Please, next time, maybe if you're not using Bluetooth so we can hear you, your voice was really faint, but I got the message. It was really, really low, but thank you for calling. I do appreciate people who, they join us and they just not listen, but pick up the phone and actually, dial into the show. I do really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Right, we are going to end the show tonight with Tina. Hello, baby girl.
Good evening, Auntie B.
I don't need to worry about your audio because I know your audio. It stand. It stand.
I'll give it back. For the power, I don't see carry my wahala come again.
Thank you. Now the second time they do show the second time today. They call up. Oh,
I dey
Tina.
go.
Thank you, my darling.
Ami, are you too, Auntie B?
Àbúrò mi dáadáa.
I said, this matter, the truth is, Nigerian pastors, do I say most pastors? I would have said most pastors, but I think it is more with Nigerian pastors. We have moved from preaching about Christ, preaching about salvation. We moved to what do they call it? The other kind of gospel, the monetary part of it, and the miracle part, that they forget that there are a lot of things that the Bible talks about. When Christ went to the cross for us, he said by his stripes we are healed, which means there is an acknowledgement that there will be sicknesses. So it's not as if it's not there. God knows say sickness go there. Even Revelation talking about the world, the life after this earth, when the world finally ends, we are going to heaven. He's saying there will be no sickness. There will be no more problems. Everything that we experience in negativity on earth won't be there anymore, which means God still knows that there will be sicknesses on earth. But pastors, they decided to idolize themselves. They decide to do their own, they translate the Bible in their own way to manipulate people.
Tina, let me ask you this, because I'm hearing pastors are idolizing themselves. Are the pastors the one idolizing themselves? I've been a congregation, they idolize pastor.
No.
Let's get it clear.
See,
are you sure saying a pastor, not the congregation?
Not the only congregation. Say when you teach, okay, Bible say, train up a child in the way he should grow, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. That is it. So when people are coming into Christianity, they come into the church, they don't know anything. Let's assume they don't know anything. They are like children that knows nothing. They want to start learning. So whatever they teach them from that stage, they grow up with it, they take it and they run with it. That is it. Imagine the kind of pastors that makes you believe, like the other caller make example. For so many years, one person begin to give doctrine when only by himself starts.
Come up with
without yes,
he come up with thousands of people.
Come up with that doctrine, and I know for
TV.
so many years.
So many children grow up without TV because they believe say their church doctrine is against TV.
I grew up with neighbors when they being member. And I know what those people went through. There was one particular one that is my friend, my age mate amongst them. This lady, very responsible person, but she be happening person, she be lively person. So she's not that dull kind of person, but because of waiting them be, it became a problem. They were seeing that girl as a rebel in the house. We go, they go. Say this girl go through care. Those that pin where gets big head. He go through can for ear. Take do earring. Before we reach house, he don't remove them because if his mama or his stepmother catch him,
if he catch him,
yes,
because he's not supposed to put the earring
she
for
really
ear.
wanted to wear earring. She couldn't. So when you go to come out, now that pin, you safety pin, you go put for ear. By the time we don't come from school, yes, that's how uncomfortable they make this girl feel. Imagine the kind of how many lives, how many generations don't go with that doctrine. And you want to blame those people, say no be now, then they idolize them. Not be them, not be their fault. Now the information when they get from these people, that's what they are working with. And imagine you now already making yourself look like a god that cannot be affected by any negativity in the earth. Then you want to come up now, make your member come see say waiting you pretend to am say no fit possible. It don't really they happen to you. That's the reason they are ashamed to come out that something is wrong with them, that they are
And the same
actually
person that
human.
was the author of this, make una no watch TV, himself they preach
Mm.
for TV now. You see
Yes.
life? You see
So
life?
now when he don't they change the doctrine, now that he's changing it, do you know those my neighbors, both papa and mama not they alive now to hear this his new story?
And they not go hold her accountable, say he lied to them and he
No,
deceived them all these years. No.
they are not alive anymore to hear the change. Those people they've gone and they
Oh,
went to heaven with that information. Now you don't change the story. So how are you not going to go back to all those generations that you told that story and they went with it? Some people till now will still find it difficult to actually change, to adjust to the new thing he's now saying, because they have already gotten used to it. It's now difficult to actually adjust to the new system of life. It's not possible again. Many people
Pastors
don't lose a lot
powerful.
of things. So
See
that
now,
is the problem. Yeah.
these men of God are actually very powerful. If we
But
look at well.
they know how powerful they are. That's the reason they are using it. Because the only way they can keep these people under control is this way. Continue to manipulate and deceive them. So when the humanity in them comes out, they will have to hide it. Because if they don't, the flock will go scatter. The flock will scatter. Because then they will now begin to see that there's humanity in us. Because then don't make them believe, say no humanity once you are a Christian. And secondly, most people make you believe that once you have a challenge, that means you are not a true Christian or you sinned. Now it make affliction come meet you. Now it make you fall sick. You are not praying enough. You probably have done something wrong. They will tell you, say, go and pray. Yes, that's the reason they stigmatize people because of one kind of infirmity or the other. And another thing they forget, the wisdom when doctors get, the knowledge, all these things are coming from God. Now God, they bless human being with the wisdom. So why won't we tap into it and allow these doctors that God has given the wisdom to treat you while you are praying? Not be everybody will go. The other caller talked about having surgeries. Yes, some people must have gone through that same particular surgery, but they didn't come out alive. But she did and came out alive. That's the reason when you they go treat yourself, still pray. Say, okay, God, go with me. I'm going to do this, but don't stop asking for proper treatment, going for proper checkup, going to the doctor to be treated.
Who they give the doctor the wisdom to do
Now
all
the
the
talk. Now
medicine?
the God
God
give
give
the wisdom.
themselves.
Go
Only
and
God
meet
give
the
them.
doctor to treat you while you pray for God to heal. That's why most hospitals they will write say we treat, God heals. They write it that most hospitals that they put on most private hospitals they go put on. Yes, most Nigerian hospitals. That's why I say private hospital for Nigeria. They go say we treat, God heals, because they see acknowledge the fact say God see day, but we still need to treat you. Now God they give the wisdom.
Obodooyinbo know the right. They don't even know whether God, especially for this our England, they don't even know whether God did. But if you see as people they live long for you say go call the bow, say how come these people don't know God? They go hold
They
like this
know
90.
that they use what God give them wisely. They know they use them foolishly as we blacks. Now they introduce Christianity to us. But the way we take carry the Christianity, we can't they tell them when bring out to us, say they don't know what's up, they don't know anything. Now we know Christianity.
Talk for comment section just now. God bless you, that my brother or sister will talk. He said when they bring Christianity, they bring Bible and they bring education and hospital. But African pastors only take only Bible. They forget about the hospital.
Because now later one they go take chop money.
Hospital and schools when they bring.
That's the only thing they can use to eat money. If you have knowledge, somebody no fit deceive you. Somebody no fit manipulate you, no fit fool you, tell you say bring your money, come make I take do one thing. So the only thing they can use to manipulate people is this way. Now only the Bible, they don't say and say they use and deceive plenty people. That's the reason they are holding on to it. And it's shame now to come out that they are humans, that they are not the meaning God that they have presented themselves to the people as. Shame no go let them talk. Now God won't come get a sickness. No, because they have made themselves little gods. And because of all the atrocities where they commit for corner, left, right, and center, shame no go let them talk, come and say, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. Because they don't want to be mocked. But we are humans. That's just what we should acknowledge. We are humans. Pastors are humans. They are not God. We should stop
Absolutely.
idolizing them. They are not God. And
Actually,
another thing where you
idolatry
get,
is a sin. I don't
it's a
know whether most
sin.
Christians know.
It's a big sin in the Bible. It did one of the
Ten
commandments.
Commandments, yes.
Yes, it did
Idolatry,
one
I
of the
need
10
to say people
commandments.
even understand. It means you are replacing God with a
Yes.
human, and that's a sin.
That's a big one, because other some kind of things where they corner when they not even mention for the 10 commandments, but this particular one was mentioned in the 10 commandments. Not be the other, so they assume, okay, this is not good, this is bad, this could be a sin, or this is a sin. This particular one was mentioned in the Bible. No
You know
man
the
will
one
share
where
God's
our people
glory.
like pass? Tina, you know the way people like pass? Everybody for Nigeria, the one they like pass, what me know say they like now Doctrine, fornication, and that one be the number one they preach.
Now they were strong now. Now let that one there, because everybody they want pick the one will favor them. Everybody wants to pick the one that favors them. That's just it. They don't turn the whole Bible upside down to the way pastor wants to preach. They pick a particular, just maybe one particular passage. They don't read the whole thing, how it started and how it ended. They will just pick only one passage that favors what they want to manipulate the congregation with. Because everything they are doing now, business it be now. It's just business. And they will imagine arranging people to come and fake testimonies. Sometimes, not even the pastors, they arrange this thing again. People just want to trend. They go out and just lie about things just to come and stand in the altar, just for them to talk, make people see them. It's not as if they were paid for it. I've seen people like this. They just go and testify of something will not even happen at all. They just want to trend with it. That is how sick our mentality as Africans don't be.
South Africa one time when he say he raise person where dog by. You don't remember that
Story
one that time?
begin bent. Yes, now.
When they begin ask them, the boy, they put her inside coffee. That he say he raise them from there. The boy cry last so make you see like chai. Now wow.
When they confronted him that time, they confronted him. He can't still change the story. So no, they passed. Not be saying just raise them. So the whole story not come straight forward again.
But said driver. Eventually, they drove him from South Africa to go back to his country.
Yes. He had a lot of challenges. That's just it.
That one deceived people. That one deceived a lot of people.
Amenity today are still doing the same thing. Even the smallest pastors, they are still doing the same thing. They are still doing the same thing.
May God help our people. May God help us. There's a lot of religious and exploitation in religion in Nigeria and across Africa that is sad. Thank you so much, my darling Tina. I really appreciate you. God bless you. You called in the second time today that we are doing the show, so God bless you. Yes, Kana. Hello, sweetheart. How are you?
Hey, Sis B, can you hear me?
Yes, my dear. How are
Good
you?
morning.
What's the time over there?
Oh my God, it's like 9:54 a.m. And
are you kidding?
Yeah, I was checking. So I'll usually go to there's the Nigeria politics thing that I usually join. So I was looking to see if they had a notification, and I did. So I saw you. I was like, wait a minute. I saw you did one video earlier. I was like, when did this happen? You had done it like 2 hours. By the time I checked, for me it was 2 hours. I was like, my goodness. Hey, this woman is on fire.
Honestly.
I was listening to that one, and then bam, I got a notification for this one. I was like, what? And I didn't get the opportunity to talk to you about yesterday. I just wanted to encourage you that look, you already know anyway, and you already have the thick skin. There'll be people who love you for what you do, and there'll be people who criticize you for the things. They're waiting for an opportunity. There'll be people waiting in the wings for an opportunity to criticize you. I know you understand this, but I just want to remind you, there will always be people that will be waiting patiently, waiting for an opportunity to try and drag you, So those are the people that you were sharing, because I saw the video a little bit where you were sharing the comments that people were leaving. That's just, people for you.
Nothing, no. This something as serious as that. When somebody don't go be with the Lord, instead of them to just mourn with the family, they find who they want to drag.
They'll find who they want drag. So no, not even let all those ones distract you, because the work you're doing is bigger than all of that. It's much, much bigger than all of that. And there's no way everybody is going to like you or appreciate you for what you are doing. There's no way it's gonna happen. So knowing that, if they like, let them flip it however way. But as long as now the important thing is say they okay with yourself and your
Thank you, my
conscience
dear.
is at peace.
Of course,
Now
definitely. Yeah.
so I just wanted to say that. Now, on this topic, I don't know. For me personally, I find it very problematic that this man, people still go to his church first and foremost. That's just me. I don't know about it, because I don't think people understand the spirituality behind sitting under the covering of a man who's been, who has so much dirty linen surrounding him. The fact that you're even sitting and listening to him is already you are already causing problems for yourself spiritually. When you start to run up and down and be looking for who to pray and they fast for you, I don't know. But anyway, that's on the wayside. Now, everybody has said it. People that have spoken prior have said the problem with Nigeria is, somebody mentioned, I don't know if it was this last caller that brilliantly stated it or someone else, said that Nigeria already, our men have ego.
Yeah.
The ego
Tina,
is already
that was
there.
Tina.
Tina, thank you. She nailed it with that. They already have natural ego, natural. They now come and add to it. They're now pastors. They idolize themselves, and they also, and the congregants also idolize them. And the way and manner and the false teachings that they preach to these people, they will take a message and flip it in such a way. People have to understand, some of these pastors will go to school to learn human psychology. So when they are talking to you, they know what to say to you in order for you to, because see, people who are seeking for power in this world, whether you're a pastor, whatever position you hold, when you're seeking for power, right? If you understand human psychology, you know how to talk to people in such a way that they will gravitate towards you. Some of these people have learned that. So when they're talking to you, usually it's from a selfish place. So they'll look for a scripture that suits whatever they want to tell you, that will make you worship the floor that they walk on. That's what they do. And unfortunately, a lot of Nigerians do not have a mind of their own. All they do is just go to church every Sunday, go to
All they
church
do is
however
follow.
many.
Nigerians
Follow.
can follow. Black people
They
generally
don't
would like to
question.
follow.
Exactly. They don't question. They don't even, do you know, holding this man accountable for
You
the
that is
things that he
questioning,
has
sir,
done.
you that is questioning, they will challenge you for
They will
questioning. How dare
challenge
you?
you.
How dare you question
Exactly.
a man of God?
Exactly. But they easily forget that part of the Bible where it says, if you see your brother or your sister doing something wrong, call the person and make sure that you correct the person, right? They don't think about that. This man has been caught on with so many things. Nobody has been able to call him and say, bro, you gotta stop this. Nobody, to save his own soul. Because no man cannot know it all. They don't do that. They just allow them continue. People keep fanning them till they self-destruct. This is what's going on. And it's dangerous.
What somebody said today, Omoye, you just reminded me now. One comment somebody said on social media about the matter we're discussing earlier on about Sammy was that people, instead of looking at it from the angle where, oh, he's no longer here, or what happened in January, somebody called him out. Maybe God even allowed that to happen so that
he can thank you.
He can so what you said now just brought me back to that, to remind me that that's what somebody said, that maybe God even allowed that scandal to happen to, so that he can find himself back to God.
Exactly, and make peace.
Reconciling with God and making peace with God, asking for forgiveness, and he's sure of eternity today. If it didn't happen, maybe he would have, who knows? It could have happened any other way, on top of another woman.
Exactly. And what would we have been saying today? You know, like you were saying, God works in mysterious ways. And that person that made that comment is absolutely right. You know, Nigerians are very quick. They will rush and be looking for people to drag. No, And the funny thing is that a lot of Nigerians, most of them will say they're Christian, but there is no evidence of Christianity around you. The Christianity that you're carrying on your head, you do not have the most central thing, which is love. You can't even love your neighbor. Your neighbor cannot leave their child with you. Make it no come back, come and say question mark day. What is that? Instead of you to call this man out and say, come, guy, this is what they do it dirty, stop him. Make they call him out, punish him, so that his soul go dey saved.
They go cover him.
Exactly. So when you have people now talking and giving their own objective opinions on this matter, people touch not my anointed, go they scream for comment section. Don't talk about my pastor. Don't talk about my pastor. I had a classmate that goes to Christ Embassy, and we're talking about, we had like in my secondary school class group, right? And they were talking about the issues with pastors, some of the pastors in Nigeria. And they happen to mention Christ Embassy. My God, you need to see this girl. She lost her cool completely. She was like, how dare you? You are not worthy. She was yelling at the other person.
I want to ask somebody like that, your WhatsApp group member in Spain. The only thing I want to ask them, I don't have any problem with anybody, to your tent, Israel, but I just want to have opportunity to speak to her. Please, let me ask her. Why is it that all their pastors always do Jericho?
We asked her. It was part of the question they asked. That's what infuriated her. They're like, that's not normal.
Why is it that they all do Jericho? Every pastor must do Jericho. Why?
That's part of the question they asked her. That, yeah, that was they asked her. The girl lost it. She was yelling. In fact, she after
every single pastor I've seen is the Christ Embassy. They don't have Jericho. Jericho activator
and
is
they
very
speak like him.
And
they'll be speaking like him too. And they'll be speaking like him. They will be speaking English like him. It's so crazy.
They're trying to mimic him.
Yes, in every way. Now, right? Now coming back to this man. They forget the part of the Bible where it says that, and I'm not a Bible scholar or people, because me, I even question the Bible as I did here, so I'm that radical. But my point is this: in that same Bible, it says that we should be, when you've been refreshed, you should also refresh others, right? And we should confess our sins to one another. So where is the role of that? Because when your people are healed by other people's testimony, right? It's in the same Bible. They say you are healed by the testimony of your mouth, however way it says it in the Bible. Where is that in play? Because it is by your own illness or your own testimony or your own pain that people gravitate towards the God that you claim to serve. Because you can now share and say, this is what happened to me, and this is what I went to this hospital and they did this, and I took the medication, or I went through the treatment and God used this. Let me give you a life example. I had fibroids, right? When I had fibroids, my fibroids were huge, by the way, right? So the first doctor I went to meet, that one told me, we gotta just take out everything. Just take out everything. I'm like, my spirit did not sit. I was like, hell to the no, right? And then I went to another doctor, and the doctor told me the same thing. I was upset. So I was sharing with a friend of mine, and she told me, she said, go for another opinion, if possible, outside of your insurance carrier, so that you can get, you can get somebody else's opinion. Because what happens is sometimes these doctors, they just want to get it done and over with. They don't even want to bother looking for preventative methods or whatever. So I said, okay. So I started processing. I did my research and all of that, right? So and then I went back to my gynecologist and I said, okay, I need a referral to so-and-so person that I found. And the gynecologist now said, okay, since you've done that, I have to now send a message to my ogas at the top so that they can meet with you. I'm like, fine, because I need to get more opinions. I'm not just going to let you take everything out. So eventually, my gynecologist referred me to one of our top gynecologists. He's an expert, right? So I went and I had a video appointment with him. I had a video appointment with this man. I was waiting 30 minutes prior, and then he showed up. As soon as this gynecologist showed up on my screen, something inside of me said, this is the person. The man never talk. He never said pim. My spirit just bam. He just connect. When he now started talking, so I was not expressing my concern to him, like, I understand, but I don't, these are my concerns, This man took his time, broke it all the way down, gave me options that I can do. This is what we can do for now. Then if we try this, then we can try this. I'm telling you. Then he now booked an office appointment, and I now went to see him in the office. My goodness. It be like saying a house I did. It can't be like saying at my house I can't even explain the feeling.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, a lot of white doctors don't understand fibroids and the treatment.
Yes, exactly. They don't.
Yeah, you want to get somebody that is of
of the same color. Or yes, a
Asian or African, Afro-Caribbean background to treat you when you have fibroids, because it's more common within Asian and African, Afro-Caribbean,
African. Yeah. This person was from what's it called? Mexico. This person was from Mexico, but he had extensive knowledge. He had even been to Africa and all of that to do his research. Anyways, when I was now talking to him, we talked at length. I saw him in the office, and then he now set a date and all of that. I tell you, it just had to be that doctor that did it, because everything that transpired, after the whole procedure and everything, taking out the fibroids only and all of that, he now told me, he said, something weird happened while I was doing this surgery that further confirmed to me. I don't know whether the man is a believer or not, that further confirmed to me that there was something about your particular surgery. I couldn't believe it. The man, they talk and they look. Everything that happened, I don't want to go into too much details. My goodness. My goodness. It was mind-blowing. Why am I saying this? Now, after that, I had a few friends that had the same issue. I was now able to educate them in a very deep way that, look, no, don't allow this, don't allow this. The same things they told me is the same things they told them. They went, followed the same track that I did, and they were, theirs was okay. They didn't even have to go into surgery and all of that. When you have experienced pain, why do we experience things in life? It's so we can share with each other, so somebody else does not make the same mistake. So this is why I come back. This pastor, wouldn't it make sense for him? He already has the love of the people to sit down and say, congregants, I've never spoken to you like this, blah, 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 however way he wants to say it. This is the situation. I need your prayers, of course, but I'm going to proceed on medical treatment.
Yes.
The man that treated me had the hand, because the hand of me, I knew it was the hand of God that was working that surgery, wasn't the man. That is how you get your testimony. When you share that with your congregants, there's no way they're not going to empathize with you. There's no way. Somebody in that congregation will say, so this pastor had the same thing like my uncle does or my father. Wow. You will make him more human to you. You will not look at him and say, hey.
They prefer to pretend so that they will not lose their faith. Who not get faith?
Exactly.
That
Do you understand?
They didn't have faith, and they are not
in the beginning. Exactly. So it's just a shame. I don't know when the bulk of Nigerians will start to think for themselves and question things and learn to call each. I don't understand. They're always quick to come to the defense of their pastor, but he's human being though. He's a human being first before anything else. Once he steps on that pulpit, maybe the anointing of God calls upon him. But when he comes down from that pulpit, he's a human being. And not all of them even have the grace of God upon them to preach. Not all of them. I don't understand. We just have a lot of false teachings going on in Nigeria that has messed up. People they are versed in the Bible, in the writings of the Bible, but they're lacking in love. lacking. We already see it in our society. It has broken down. We have churches in every corner in Nigeria. Yet the evil that is thriving.
Africa, did you not see the pregnant woman and the pastor in Zambia?
Oh my God, I couldn't watch it. I didn't
He
want
came
to.
to
I
the
said,
house of the
oh,
man. That is how much these people believe whatever comes out of the people they
exactly.
claim to be their men of God.
And people defend it. People are coming out to defend that act. It
Yes,
is
so
mental to me. It doesn't make sense, you
you
know.
can't
That's why I don't
understand.
like talking or discussing about this, because it's very aggravating for me. If I enter, I not my it hasn't been impressed upon me to take on these issues. Otherwise, I tell you, I'll take it on for free. But it just has not been impressed on me yet. But when I get there, there's no mercy for anybody. But anyway, hey, I'm going to end here, Sister B, so you can go and get some rest. Thank
Yes,
you so much for
thank you so
discussing this. I
much. Oh,
appreciate
yeah.
you.
It's always a
Love
pleasure
you.
to have you on board, my darling. God bless you. I love you too. Thank
All right
you.
then. Bye.
Thank you. Well done for all that you are doing towards making Nigeria a better place. It will end in praise. Lagbara long. Thank you. So, guys, this is it, though. This is where we are. I mean, nobody wishes anything bad. As Christians, we are supposed to pray for one another, lift one another up. If anyone is sick, we pray for them. So, irrespective of whatever personal beliefs or whatever controversies that are surrounding this man, I wish him speedy recovery. Ọlọ́run ò fẹ́ kú ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀, àfi kó ronúpìwàdà. And everybody is a sinner. Kunshe is not everybody. As long as tabati wale, we have the flesh, we have this flesh and blood. We are all sinners, and the Bible says that He will want us to come to a place of repentance. So we pray for him, and we wish him and his family well. People are saying that he's recovering now, so I pray that he will have speedy recovery. Maybe one day, he will come to a place where he will be able to reach out to people in his past that have felt like they are grieved in whatever way that he hurt them. And even if he doesn't do it publicly, he can do it privately. Talk to them, reconcile, apologize. He doesn't take anything from you, because at the end of the day, is God in heaven that searches the hearts of men. He's the one that knows. He knows the end. Oba lano leni, oba titi aye. There's nothing he doesn't know. You cannot hide. Where are you going to hide? You can't hide anything. So, I mean, what I'm going to say from this going forward, if you are a Christian and a believer, you're a church goer here, please do. I know some of us here, we are very strong in our faith. If you are sick, please don't be looking at your pastor and stay at home and say, by faith I'm healed. By faith I'm healed. Go to the doctors. Please go get treated. It's God that gave doctors the wisdom. He gave them the knowledge to acquire, all this knowledge that they have to treat you. Don't stay and be praying and faking it, because last, even the people that you are looking up to, they are sneaking behind to go abroad. They are sneaking behind to get medical treatment. There is nothing wrong with medical treatment. Like you heard from all my callers tonight, some of the disciples were even doctors. They have always been doctors. So, let's use our brain, let's use our sense, let us not be senseless people in this day and age. If you have, I know for our generation and the generation after us are more smarter than that, but there are still some of our parents back home that they will not agree. So tell them they should not stay and be fasting. Some of them fast, they have ulcer. It's not that fasting is not good, but if you have any medical issues, for instance, then you shouldn't be fasting. It's not healthy. And God doesn't want that for you. Wisdom is profitable to direct. When it comes to religious things, it's very difficult. Even the average person that is smart, intelligent, critical in their thinking, they lose all sense of direction, because by Loluwawi is very powerful. When someone say, I hear God, this is what God told me, chai. That is all they need to say to get some people. It is well, Lou. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody that called in. Thank you, people in the comment section, for being with me again tonight. And those who were in the show earlier on, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you've not done so. Send us a super chat or Cash App, PayPal. Support our work, support our ministry. Those who want to send me Christmas presents, please, I'm receiving Christmas present ahead of time now. Send me Christmas present. All this talk, I stay here and do. I want my Christmas presents. So please start sending it across now. I'm collecting. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you guys. I love you very much. Thank you. Have a lovely weekend. Okay, so tomorrow we're not going to have a show, obviously, because we had 2 shows today. So there won't be any show tomorrow. So take tomorrow, go to worship God and rest. All right, because the work will start again on Monday. So thank you, everybody. Clara says Santa. She Santa ń gbọ́. Santa ń bọ̀ àbí? Ṣé ó ṣì máa wá fún ara wa báyìí bá ṣe dàgbà as we big reach so? Is Santa still coming? David asked customer service say whether I should create a PO box for gift. Okay. People have been telling me this for years. I haven't done it, but I will do it now. Okay. I'm going to try and do it this week. I will do my PO box. I must do my PO box for gift so that you can send me gift. I need perfumes. I need iPad. I need, makeup brushes. I need makeup. You guys know I love my makeup. Everything beauty I want. Be sending it to. Sending it. Thank you so much, everybody. I love and appreciate you. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Bye. Gismas is coming, right? So if you want, if you want us to talk about anything, send me a message, DM me, or send me a message on WhatsApp, DM me or email me so that we can talk about it. Gismas is 25 days. There's a lot of days to cover. I can't come up with all the topics, so send me something that is YouTube friendly, and we can talk about, mostly things that we will just catch cruise. We did say that we're going to catch cruise till the end of this year. Ashe, man proposes, God disposes. We said it's cruise we want to be catching. We didn't know that Sammy is going to go and pay me like this. Ban me. It is well. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. Enjoy your weekend. I love you very much. 1,000 people still watching. Please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe, share. Let's get us to 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That's the goal. And I hope you can help me to achieve it. If you value me and you appreciate what we are doing here, subscribe. Thank you so much. Tina Oshegoni, God bless you. Oma Yenskan, I appreciate you. Everyone that called in today. Oma man. Thank you. For Life Esther, God bless you. Thank you, everybody. Bye, guys. Love you.